Hey everyone, this is just a quick overview of the eBay exhaust headers or header for your typical Corolla or Prizm from the mid-90s. Yes, the Geo Prizm is the same thing as the Corolla. Here we go. Exhaust manifold. I'm just going to do a quick little overview of the build quality. Of course, not going to be perfect. Here's our bolt pretty much that we screw our O2 sensor into, our flying type O2 sensor. And you can see here, well, let me get some light so you can take a close look at kind of how they do it. Now they have a bolt right in there. So that's how they do it. Now the build quality obviously not going to be the greatest. We've got some design elements where they kind of slacked off. I found some places, for example, right here, there is like a little, when they're cutting, I can't get it too good with this camera, but if you could see better, right under here, there's like a little cut flap where like there's a cut underneath the metal, and there's a little bit of metal over top of that where they didn't cut too well. Packaging was okay from this seller. I bought the cheapest thing. I placed the bid for $16.90, I think it was. The shipping was $42. So it wasn't too bad, less than $60 total when all is said and done. And the packaging is okay. It got here pretty quick, and the only thing wrong with it was there was a hole in it. But I blame UPS for that. I don't know if it was the people I bought it from, but it had a hole punched on the side where you could basically carry the box. But all these little bolts are just loose in there. The ones that connect the pretty much the exhaust manifold part to the downpipe part on the header. And here is my gasket that would connect the header to the catalytic converter. And this thing is almost perfect, but this actually has a build quality problem with it right here, where it's not perfectly round. It actually it's flattened out over here. So I'm gonna have to either sand or grind this down in order to fit it over. But now, while this is advertised as the right part online, it doesn't look quite big enough to cover the full flang. And I do apologize for the lighting in here. I know you can barely see anything, but I got all my lights on. Not a whole lot that I can do about this camera. Yeah, it's not too bad. A couple of little spots where it's not, not as good as I would like it to be. Should be cleaner. But for $60, they, copycat good designs. This is pretty much going to give you the same performance as a, perfect, header that's been built in a much better way. But it brings everything you need for $60, and it's going to give you performance. I'm going to have to do a little bit of sanding or grinding because it's not perfect. But besides that, I'm pleased. Just a little bit of modification. Hopefully when we do decide to finally go ahead and put it in the car, it's not going to do any, it's not going to require anything further. It'll just bolt right on, hopefully. I will let you guys know about that. And just so you guys know, what happened to my car is the catalytic converter clogged up. So in order to take it off and bang it out, I didn't know a whole lot, so I listened to a friend who just said to saw off and put a pipe on it and clamp it. So I sawed off like right around here, and so we got a clamp now, but it's really bad, it's really loud, and so now I have to just, I figured if I'm gonna have to go get a spot weld for $40 or $50, why not get a pipe and just install it instead? So we're gonna do that, and I'll let you guys know the result. After this, my car is gonna have a short ram intake, the header, and a hollow exhaust catalytic converter. Or rather, no catalytic converter. And I don't know, after that I don't really feel like getting a muffler, but I might. I don't know. This is just, stuff to do to the car because it needs it, really. Alright.